Agriculture is an important sector of the New South Wales economy. We rely on agriculture for our food and fibre production, value-add processing, employment and environmental services. For many, agricultural activities are part of the character of our rural lands and can be the foundation for tourism in regional areas. Across New South Wales, there are large tracts of rural land available for food and fibre production. However, certain commodities require specific growing conditions, labour and processing requirements, and access to available water, transport and markets. New industries and high-tech farming practices, as well as social expectations, are changing the way land is used for agriculture. Industries are also adapting and transitioning to the impacts of climate change. Appropriate consideration of agriculture within the planning framework is necessary to ensure a diversity of foods, short supply chains and a healthy agricultural economy. Changing community needs and aspirations can be reflected in the use of agricultural land. When agricultural land is converted to non-agricultural uses, such as residential or industrial uses, it pushes agricultural production further away from markets. Productive soil and climate combinations are the key pieces of infrastructure and can fragment the rural landscape. This reduces the productive capacity of the land and makes our food chains more vulnerable to shock, such as natural disasters or the COVID-19 pandemic.
Hi, I'm Tamara Prentice. I'm the manager of the Agricultural Land Use Planning team within the Department of Primary Industries. Our role is to ensure that agricultural industries and the land and the resources upon which these depend are adequately considered in the New South Wales planning framework. I have agricultural land use planning officers covering all of the planning regions across the state. Our officers have knowledge of the agricultural industries and the issues unique to their regions. They have strong contacts with council's planning staff and agricultural industry stakeholders. Collectively, our team has extensive knowledge and skills in planning, soils, water and environmental science that can be applied to agricultural land use planning matters.
The Agricultural Land Use Planning team provides expert agricultural planning advice to state agencies, local councils and agricultural stakeholders to achieve positive outcomes for agriculture. The team supports the development and review of regional plans, local strategic planning statements and local land use strategies to ensure that agriculture is appropriately considered at the strategic planning stage and that resources important to agriculture are safeguarded. The team have built strong relationships with other jurisdictions and across government and industry to develop and guide agricultural land use planning policy in New South Wales.
Clarence Valley has the largest agricultural sector on the New South Wales North Coast, with 1 in 4 businesses identified as a primary producer. We recognise that a focus on continuing to support and nurture our agricultural industry in all forms is critical to our prosperity. It is one of our key economic drivers. Part of our investment attraction is our capacity to support emerging and growth industries through protecting agricultural land from incompatible development and supporting infrastructure that supports our farmers. Things like the Grafton cattle sale yards, fishermen's cooperatives and local markets. DPI's Agricultural Land Use Planning team have been really valuable in providing information and support in the development of our local strategic planning statement and other strategic plans, and advice on planning controls and developments relating to or impacting on agriculture in our local government area.
The Agricultural Land Use Planning team can provide advice for reducing land use conflict risk in rural and peri-urban areas. Land use conflict can arise between agricultural production systems or between agricultural and non-agricultural land uses. Conflicts can have significant negative impacts on agricultural operations and the mental health of farmers or impacted residents. Land use conflict can be substantially minimised by good management of land uses, planning practices and expectations about farming activities. Agricultural practices are changing in response to a range of influences. Intensive agricultural practices are expanding across New South Wales and contributing to the growth in agricultural productivity. The Agricultural Land Use Planning team provide advice on intensive agricultural developments and can link councils and other authorities to industry resources and best practice management guides. The team is working to deliver training and resources for local government and other planning professionals to support decisions on how intensive agriculture developments are integrated into the landscape and the community. The team also provides advice on major development projects that have the potential to impact on agricultural land, resources or industries. We seek input from technical specialists within DPI to consider the site suitability of the development and, where appropriate, identify measures to mitigate potential risks to surrounding agriculture. The Agricultural Land Use Planning Team can support local government in navigating diversification opportunities in their rural areas, help to identify initiatives to link food production with urban communities, and can support the development of or review of local policies and planning proposals. Strategically planning for these types of development and applying appropriate development controls is important to ensure the agricultural production value of a locality is enhanced and unintended impacts are avoided. To learn more about the Agricultural Land Use Planning Team or to access our resources, visit the New South Wales DPI website at www.dpi.nsw.gov.au or email us at landuse.ag@dpi.nsw.gov.au.